tuning in. You are listening to Conversations with the Citizen.
Hi, and welcome to another week of Get Your House in Order. I'm your host, Bryn Sharif. The information provided on this podcast is not intended to be legal advice, but to inform you of the importance of getting your house in order by making a plan that will establish your legacy for the protection of your family. If you need help in any area that we discuss during this podcast, you can give me a call at 773-817-0601. We encourage you to contact a professional of your choice who can speak to you on your individual situation. On today's show, we will be discussing institutions and the importance of succession of institutions. As we have all heard on the news, read in the news, one of the giants of civil rights has passed. And one of the commentaries that is being stated is that now we as Black people don't have a voice. I absolutely refute that. When you have giants that have become institutions within their own time, as Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson became an institution in his own right, he was a seed planter. And for those of you that may remember the story of Johnny Appleseed, that planted apple seeds along the route that pioneers took going west, he never was able to reap that fruit, but those that came behind him did. And so I'm making this analogy with Reverend Jackson, that he was a seed planter. I know that there are many of you that have heard what he said over the years. Perhaps I prayerfully implemented many of those things. And so that is what we need to do. We need to institutionalize the things that are done in our families, things that are done in our business, and things that we receive from our leaders. Reverend Jackson was a strong proponent for Black economic development. He spent a great deal of time in getting us prepared for those businesses having contracts. And those contracts are how we create jobs in our communities. One of the reasons that we have such a low number of businesses is that we don't support our Black business owners. There was a time before segregation, before what they call in integration, I call it before desegregation. We have never, ever experienced integration. Integration means that I buy from you today and you come and buy from me tomorrow. That's integration. What happened, we had laws that desegregated, meaning that it gave African Americans access to those public places and spaces. And unfortunately, it took our dollars. Instead of us shopping in our own community, among our own people, we took our dollars and gleefully spread it where in those places that we had perhaps been unable to shop before, or certainly shop with the freedom. I was born in the South. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. And I remember as a child, I had an aunt, bless her soul, my Aunt Ruth. Aunt Ruth used to take me downtown with her or not downtown, they called it Two Town, took me to town to shop with her. And she would buy things. Now, this was at a time when most African Americans, if you bought it, it was yours. You were not able to try it on. My Aunt Ruth, being the complexion that she was, having the money she did, and I will just say now, her husband was well known and he wasn't a politician. He was in the rackets. And so being respected that way, or the money being respected, when we went downtown, I was able to try on dresses. This was not common for African Americans to be able to do this. So if we had gone into black shops, that wasn't even a question. You try it on, you could even bring it back. That was another thing. If you bought it, it was yours to keep, because they would not take any returns from black people. It may not seem that important, but it is. We need to support our own. This is something that has been pushed for years by, I can't remember his name, I know Hiram Crawford was a minister on South Cottage Grove that really did push buy black. And we need to do some of these things. This was a message that Reverend Jackson had. Buy black. If we want to have what other people have, we as black people must do what other folks do. We see the Hispanic community with the community, their commercial strips, all full and lively, one shop to another shop to another shop, and they are there spending their money. In our community, if we're seeing shops, they're no longer owned by us. They're owned by other groups. As a matter of fact, I was speaking with some of these nationals, and they told me that they were told that if you want to get rich, go to the black community. Black communities will make you rich. And I have to say, it has to be true, because when I look at the food places, when I look at the shops, the hair care products, African Americans spend more on personal grooming items than any other people. And yet, we don't control those stores. We have some manufacturers, but we don't control the retail stores where they're purchased. Please, if we want to give honor to a man that gave his life, sacrificed family, sacrificed so many things, was a seed planter, I hope you've opened your heart and your mind to receive those things. Listen to some of the commentaries that are going to be given, particularly on Black Star Network, which is an unbossed delivery of news for us as black people. Subscribe to it. Be a subscriber. Don't just be a taker. My father once, as I was a part of the movement, and one day he asked me, he said, well, what y'all gonna be doing today? And I told him, I said, we're going out to exercise our rights to get our freedom. And he said, to exercise your rights. And what are your rights? And I laid it all out. He said, I want to share something with you. He said, when you act responsibly, many of your rights will take care of themselves. And I'm going to bring this back to the last national election. Had we acted more responsibly and exercised our right to vote, some of the stuff that we're going through right now, we would not have had to do because we were responsible and our rights would take care of themselves. As we say goodbye to our leader, our spokesman, who for almost 6 decades stood and gave us the voice to keep hope alive. This is our nation. It is our responsibility now to take those words that he planted, let them resonate in your heart, to keep hope alive, act responsibly, make a plan. Plan, as they say, a people that fail to plan have planned to fail. Get your house in order. I look forward to talking to you next week. Until then, be blessed, stay safe.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen, the place where real news can be heard.